What's up, Alpha Strikers? We are here for the next exciting edition of the Mighty Thor set review done by myself, Professor Erks.
Myself, Pedro Rocha.
And myself, Shea McClure.
And we're going to get right into these guys. These are going to be the meat and potatoes of the set, guys. In sealed, you will see always one of these or two of these per. Let's see what we have. First one is number 33, Throg. Asgardians, Pet Avengers, and Animal keyword. Always love that animal keyword. I think I might play here with some Ninja Turtles. That could be fun. All right. So real name is Simon Walterson. I love how all the Thors have a son. Like they actually are the son of somebody, like son of Walter. It's very, very interesting. He is the wielder of Frogelnir. He starts the game equipped. What does Frogelnir do, Pedro?
Okie dokie, let's go for Frogelnir. Frogelnir, 1 second. Frogelnir is a light object, is special option number 3. Follows the same rules as the other, indestructible, equip any, and unique drop. And his special power is that, effect, you get the tiny symbol, but you're still considered a standard character for equipment purpose because if a character is equipped and becomes tiny or giant or colossal, you don't drop the equipment, but you lose its effect. Now, right?
Correct.
If I got it right, yes. It's
Sure.
5 points. You get the tiny symbol, but you get also the power that allow you to still make use of the hammer while tiny. And it says that when this character occupies water terrain, you modify its attack and defense by +1.
Not bad. So you usually become almost a water dweller with some extra added bonuses there.
Yes.
All right. So looking at his dial, I want you guys to take a very, very important note at his dial. He has the fish symbol. He only has 3 range, and he has a standard damage symbol. Without his hammer, he's actually standard size. I was very thrown off by that.
True.
45 points, 5 clicks of life, steady values. He has a unique damage power on his first 2 clicks called Field Leader of the Pet Avengers. Hopefully this is a lead-in to where we see more Pet Avengers down the line. So we have Perplex. That's awesome. When Throg uses it to target a character with the animal or Pet Avengers keyword, he may modify a combat value except damage by +2 instead. So already for 45 points, you're getting an amazing support character with attack capabilities. And if he has the hammer equipped, he is tiny. And if he's in water, he gets a +1 to defense from range attacks and +1 from being tiny and 1 more from the hammer if he's in water. So he's a 20 defense from range. That is incredible.
21 if he's in water, right? Because swim now gives a +1 defense, or am I crazy?
Well, rule of 3 on the first click. So
Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, the first, sorry. I thought you were going to the second, sorry. I'm crazy.
no, just the first one. But
Perfect,
hey,
yeah.
on click 2, yes, 21 still rule of 3.
Ouch.
And he has energy explosion with 2 damage. So his range is only 3, but hey, take a cool little tech here and take his perplex and give it to his range. You now have 5 range energy explosion. So not bad. Mr. Dial has more leap climb, which is kind of appropriate for a frog. More energy explosion than attack 18 with nothing. And his last 2, this is kind of his brawler form where he's like getting into the action where he has sidestep with close combat expert. Good combo with reflexes. You want him adjacent to them as much as possible. Map choice, guys, is brutal. If you can make an animal theme with pluses to your map roll, getting a map with lots of water, you will get the most out of this Throg for sure in any game.
I like it. By the way, have you guys seen, and I should have mentioned in the first review, but good for those who are watching all of them, have you seen the ruling of characters that start equipped with a weapon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Go ahead,
you can
go ahead and
decide.
tell us.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think it's cool. You can decide not to bring the weapon, but in order not to give anyone a particular advantage, the character can still equip a weapon during the game or equip an equipment during the game, but it cannot start with any other thing equipped during for construction. So you can, for instance, decide that Thunderstrike will not start with Thunderstrike, but you cannot put a Brainiac on him instead. Those characters that they come with a weapon equipped that decide not to equip the weapon will not be able to use any entities or other equipment that comes to force construction, but will be able to use those normally after the game begins if they're placed on the map, picked up, and given the power action as per the rules of the equipment.
Which is why this is cool, because you could put Stormbreaker on this guy if you so choose to do so.
Yep. Yep. In order not to
Nice.
prevent you from comboing exactly different weapons with different characters, but also not giving you an edge by giving you an entity for someone who wouldn't originally start with the entity.
Yeah. I,
Okay, so jumping out to this crazy combo of the Iron Rocket Man, number 34, which has the Guardian of the Galaxy. I love this keyword. I would so much wish to see them more on the table. The Animal and the Scientist.
Hey,
His
he
real
works like
name,
Throg.
exactly, real name Rocket Raccoon. He has a trait that says from an alternate Earth. It's a sideline active one that Urx explained so well. You can exchange him from someone with the Iron Man or the Raccoon, sorry, keywords. And he also has a special damage power on first, second, and last click, which is called the Ultimate Strategist. Probability control. Once per turn, when an opposing character within range and line of fire would move, you may choose the first square the character moves into, which is great because if it's sidestep, I'm guessing you can make him move one behind, and then he gets to come back and not
Basically.
make good use of sidestep, or throw him off another something. If you're gonna charge and be exactly on your face, you get him one step behind, and you're there. He's 75 points, 5 clicks. He has running shot, penetrating psychic blast, and with 11 attack on the first 2 clicks, and starts with a 17 energy shield deflection, then 18 toughness, and toughness gone on until his last click on a 16 energy shield deflection. He gets 3 damage and probability control plus the move the guys around strategist power. His third and fourth click are sidestep, range combat expert, which if you're seeing the reviews or seen any beforehand, it's one of our preferred combos, and ends up with a little bit of a weaker, very weak dial. Sorry to say it on the fifth one, but very strong first dial. He's lacking Indomitable, unfortunately, but still a very strong piece. Very good in sealed, and the main reason why I would say that, and I'm sorry for saying that, he ignores character for targeting. Improved targeting, ignore characters, which is great to shoot through people. But he's the only one that we read so far, unless I'm mistaken, that has probability control. Am I right?
yeah, I think you're
Which I
right.
recall is the first
Yeah.
time we see it.
Yes.
It's becoming a very
Um,
strong power.
yeah.
They're
So
finding out much more seldomly, it seems.
yeah, very strong attacker in the first clicks. Very good against range. He's gonna 7 range, so if you're gonna exchange shots with him, he's at 19 defense while dealing penetrating. Then with prob, ignores characters, so he can put a couple of his friends in front of him and shoot behind them. Really cool. Like him a lot in any shape. A little bit hard to see it in meta because only 5 clicks and the last one is weak to meta, but awesome in sealed and for fun. I, I have so many places for him in my Guardian of the Galaxy teams. It's ridiculous.
It seems a little odd to me that he's 75 points. When if you guys think about between Avengers, Defenders, War, What If, and now, a lot of Iron Mans are actually less points than
Yeah.
this guy.
That's true.
And then even the only Rocket Raccoon that we have, I think, is from the Guardians movie set, is still less points than this one. I think it's 65 points, right?
Yeah, I can check
Yeah.
that very shortly.
That's why I was like, this would be a really good thing, but it only works for like 2 Iron Men that are modern, really, maybe 3. And then there's no Rocket Raccoons you can change out with. But I want to talk about his damage power a little bit that Pedro didn't mention. Yeah, the sidestep thing's pretty funny. But imagine if they charge at you, you can make them step backwards charge, and then they can't make it to you. You've basically ruined their whole charge action, and they declared it. So they can't say, "Oh, I'll take it back." Nope. You move 1 square back, and then you come at me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little rude, but that's
Yeah. I like him. And in this set sealed, his probability control is huge, but his ability to shoot through characters, that psychic blast, and we're not seeing a lot of invincible. I don't in any of our reviews up to now. There's not been a lot of invincible handed out. So he's cutting through defensive powers. He's got a really good attack, and he's a good secondary attacker. And
For
his
sure.
passive powers really help your team out. His ability to make figures go one way they don't want to go can really ruin strategy. So I kind of like him. He's
And-
fun. In
and I'm-
sealed, he could be very valuable.
On the sculpt too, that little raccoon head. It's just the cutest little thing.
Yep.
It's like,
And
how'd
Eric,
you
you're
get in
right.
there?
There's no Rocket Raccoon he can replace to,
Mm-hmm.
and very few Iron Mans from What If. You have only 3. They're actually 100 points,
Mm.
and only one in the Avenger Defender Wars, but it's a cool one.
Yeah, you don't want to change out that for this unless he's like dying. But even then,
Exactly.
dial's too
Right.
short.
Leave him there.
Yeah, and building on the Iron Man theme, we're going to jump on to number 35, which is Thorbuster. And just like we thought, his keywords are Avengers, Stark Industries, and Armor. His real name's Tony Stark. He has 2 traits, Mystical Power Rechanneled. When Thorbuster takes damage from the Mystic's team ability or an attack from a character with the Asgardian, Deity, or Mystical keywords, after resolutions, heal him 1 click. And in this set, that's quite a bit of them.
Mm-hmm.
And his other trait, to break up the Thor worship cult. Opposing characters within range and line of fire can't use or have their combat values modified by Empower or Enhancement. Seems small, but man, that extra damage can help you out. Can keep preventing them from getting that extra damage.
Hey, Shea.
Yes.
Your Eric Masterson does nothing for you now.
I know. He is now a wasted 15 points on your team. Now, he also has a special attack power that only shows up on his first 2 clicks, but I think it's really important. Type X repulsors, Odin Force powered. Thorbuster deals penetrating damage when he attacks a character that can use Invincible modified damage +2. As you can see on the screen, his dial, the rest of his powers are pretty straightforward. But the ones I want to focus on are his first 2 clicks. He's got 6 range. He's 125 points, but those first 2 clicks really make him very, very impressive for a attacker in a sealed set. He has a 10 running shot with 11 attack with his special power, which allows him to really get by Invincible, 19 defense with Impervious, and 4 damage. And he's got End Dom. His last 3 clicks, he picks up Outwit. He gets some sidestep. He's got Charge and Super Strength. But those first 2 clicks really what make this figure. If you can keep him up there, you can't stop him, I don't think. What do y'all think?
I mean, yeah, exactly. Those first 2 clicks are his golden just spot. And the fact that he can essentially eradicate Mystic's damage. He doesn't care. He'll take it and then get it right back. And then, you have any reducer and Invincible. My power supersedes it because the +2 damage basically compensates for the reduced 2 that Invincible would give.
Yep. One thing is for certain. We all know what had to be excluded from the armor so that he could get all the extra powers, right?
His flight.
Yes.
Yes,
He is a walker.
Apparently, Tony Stark gave up the repulsor lift to add all this extra stuff on all the armors that go to Asgard.
Because I'm pretty sure if he was hit by a hammer or any Asgardian weapon, he'd be just flying back. So he had to put some dense weight in the boots.
I do like that he just deals penetrating damage. So it's basically Pin Psi and Exploit Weakness together.
That's the whole thing. Is like they can't say outwit your Pin Psi or whatever. They can outwit your personal power, but
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah, I like him. At 125 points, he's decently economical.
Yeah, and it's cool because if you see the meta going towards a lot of enhancement in power or mystic team ability, he's a strong counter. So it's a little bit on a gambit on what you're gonna pick, but if you have a right reading on what your opponent's gonna be playing, super strong.
You mean like a Jakeem Thunder?
Maybe, right?
And if you guys want to be really crazy with this, if you guys want to pull back a piece from the past, I'm pretty sure one of those Hulkbuster pieces gives flight. If you really want to just add some more armor to this guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Don't forget those while they're in modern, guys. Pieces are still there. I don't think all the weapons are cool, but we still have some old ones too. Symbiote wouldn't be as bad in this guy for some shape change. Sticking to guys. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just weapons, guys. You want all the weapons. All right, moving right along. It's my turn. We have number 36, Captain Marvel. Now, there were some people who were really excited for this sculpt because it's the one with the awesome mohawk and the all onesie suit, basically. And Carol Danvers, huge favorite of some people. She has Avengers, Kree, Cosmic, Pilot, and Soldier. Hey, weren't they going to retire that pilot keyword?
I thought
Yes,
they were.
I
Yeah.
thought they did. Very good point.
That's interesting. I wonder how that got stuck in there. Anyways, Dial, what you see is literally what you get. There's nothing else here for me to read. Look at Dial. She's 5 range, flight, so she carries, has perplex and super strength. Unfortunately, you can't use hypersonic super strength, but you do have the knockback always, guys. So you can use your perplex to up your damage, up your attack, make sure you get that solid hit, and you have 5 range, so it's a 3 range shot if you don't want to fight against reflexes or something like that. She moves on to Running Shot Pulse Wave with a 10-9 attack, still 17 toughness with a little more perplex, and that's gone. Drops into more hypersonic super strength with ESD, 2 damage, and then last but not least, her Running Shot Pulse Wave again with 9 attack, 3 damage with a perplex, so you can go up to a 10. I really was hoping for some more with this Dial. She is good for a fun Kree or Cosmic team, and Soldier, could be a good carrier for Soldier teams. But what do you guys think about her?
Yeah, it's on the team side is a little bit tough. I like every single click of hers individually. I just don't know the combo and the back and forth of her power is like probably is more thematic because if I knew a little bit more about the character late comic adventures, but it's kind of hit strong then pulse waves, hit strong then pulse waves. If only if we could have someone that could kind of increase her attack by 1 and then her damage plus 2, she
Mm-hmm.
would be so aggressive, you know. But I like her. I like her. You coupled her with Red Leader because I think her dials dials are great. Well, everything gets better with Red Leader,
I was
right? But
about
I
to
mean,
Yeah.
say, is there any other thing?
no, but I
Uh,
think you can dish out a lot more damage because her first click is of a true main attacker, so she can have 12 attack and 5 damage because she perplexes as well. Then her second or third clicks with +3 perplexes or +4. It's from her second click. It's super strong to pulse wave. I mean, every click of the dial works, and if you can perplex it, it works a lot better. I think that's the only thing for me. A great dial with low number for 95, but I like her.
Yeah, I think this is just where we've gotten used to special powers and traits, and we see this standard run-of-the-mill character, and we're like, huh, is she really that good?
how do I
I,
use this effectively?
yeah, really. Where's her special power that makes her unique, But, she has a lot of stuff that work, so finding the right combo, finding something that will make her a little bit better, like Pedro said, we could push her into some fun thematic teams.
So grab a chair because you have a character with a lot of stuff written and 2 set of clicks to the guy who won't stop talking. So bear with
There
me.
you
I'll
go.
try to be I'll try to be objective here. This is Miss Marvel, Avengers, Champions, Inhumans, and Celebrity. Her real name is Kamala Khan. She has a trait that says, I have polymorph powers, shape change. At the beginning of your turn, you may turn her to the same click number of a different color and then heal her 1 click. When she's on the blue click number, she has the tiny symbol. Also, she has a special power that's only applicable, but it's in every single click of her red dial, which is Giant Reach 2. She's a standard size character and she has a standard damage power which only appears on the first 3 clicks of her blue set of clicks, which is think small to solve big problems, outwit and perplex. And you modify attack by +1 for each action token on her target. Other than that, you have a myriad of powers here, which we're going to look quickly through her dial. So if you look at her standard size dial, which is the dials that go from 1 to 5 on the red side, she has charge for 11. She has no range on any click. Charge doesn't fly. It has the Avenger team ability for +1 movement, and it's not indomitable. So she has 11 charge with 10 attack, with her power to give a giant reach 2. That's a 7, 8 reach more or less. Yes, 6, 7 where she is, plus 9 maybe reach on her swing, 17 invincible, which is always good, for 3 damage with leadership, leadership that's so much better now with her Avengers and maybe Inhumans even, or celebrity keywords are very useful. But then she drops to a 16 invincible and then 17, picking up again with 718. But toughness and their attack suffers a little bit. She loses charges for sidestep. She has close combat expert on her last 3 clicks, so she's going to be close to you and hitting. On her tiny size dial, she sidestep all the way from 7 to 5. She has an 11 attack with precision strike on the first 2 clicks, with 17 combat reflexes, which is very useful to be, right there, switching clicks and healing and hitting. And she has the outwit and perplex powers, which make it even better. Sorry, because precision strike and outwitting your opponent's defense plus a perplex to damage or even to attack. Who doesn't like that? Her last 3 clicks have super senses on defense, and in cap by the last 2 clicks on the blue dial. If you're not being able to heal back from a distance, you're probably in capping and becoming a full support character, especially if you can do it. From a safe place. Decent. I think it's a fun character. For 90 points, it's a little bit, although she's very versatile, it's a little bit short dialed. So, a decent outwit on her defense power with a 5 damage is not something possible to take place. I like her for everything that she brings in terms of versatility, but I would personally use her more for the outwit and perplex than for her leadership and aggressiveness. What do you guys think?
Well, I agree with her. I agree with you. I'd keep her down on that blue side, I would think. Looking at it. But here's the thing about her. She's a she's a finesse piece.
Yes.
She's also one that when you're facing her, you're going to get confused because the guy's going to be clicking back and forth. You can imagine what he's going to do when he's got 2 action tokens on him. He's going to click the beginning of his turn before he can clear him. He's going to click and heal, and then he's going to clear him, and then maybe click back to a different one the next turn. So that's 2 heals if you don't finish her off. And it's just, she'll be crazy to face if you just don't finish her.
Yeah, the power that she has to just kind of run away and then sit there turn after turn and come back to full if you want her to be, and then go attack you again with her, 11 speed charge and 10 attack with giant reach is pretty ridiculous. I noticed her keywords are Avengers, which is great, and champions. I want to see more champions come out. Only ones we really have in modern right now are Iceman and Goliath from Civil War. So hopefully we'll see more going forward. But hey, celebrity keyword, I'm going to play her with Spider-Gwen all day long. And I could play her with that Spider-Man from What If, the one that gets the +2 to his defense and is better with these kind of guys. And she heals, so he can key off of her heals too. That's pretty neato.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's outside the box right there.
Yeah.
Very well thought.
Yeah, that's why you should always think through all these characters, because you never know what kind of fun you can have with them.
I'm just a spider player. I just all Spider-Man's friends, and unfortunately, all people are his friends. So
they are,
But hey, good review there, Pedro.
And she can be called in, right?
She has a Marvel ID card. Yep, it's in modern right now in the Fury set.
Although you're likely going to use it on the Colossal. 11-10 for 3 damage. It's not that bad. Or an 11 without it.
I have a question about the ID card thing. So, did they rule that when an ID card character is called in, it's considered the beginning of the turn for that character?
I think that you will have. That's a very good question, because it says here at the beginning of your turn and not of this character's turn.
Okay. And that could be the clause where you couldn't, unfortunately, flip her on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang,
but it's a good question.
I had hope.
To understand where she comes, you may turn her to the same clicking number of different, because it doesn't stay in with. It's funny because it doesn't say in which dial she starts though.
Yeah, that's the interesting one, but they have it underlined at the beginning of your turn, which would make me think it's a phase of the game.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's Balder. He's next. 038, and he's Asgardian, deity, and warrior. His real name is, yes, he's a son of somebody, Balder, Odin's son, as those sons are everywhere. He is got a trait, Wielder of Frey. Balder starts the game with S004 Frey equipped. And Pedro, do you have that weapon for us?
Of course, fray. Let's get into the fray.
All
Haha.
right.
Nice.
Already, by the way, and a quick note while I find it and I got it, I already have 100 pieces of these guys because if you like bad puns, I'm getting Balder every day. So
Oh man.
it's again follows the same rules of indestructible, equip any, and drop. It's a light object special number 4. It is the fray, and its effect is blade claw fangs, and its minimum result it's actually the character's printed damage value and not the damage value minus printed -1. So there you go.
All right.
Nice.
And on top of that weapon, he has 2 special powers. One's on attack, and it shows up on his last 2 clicks, and it is limited powers of light, penetrating psychic blast, pulse wave. Balder can use both with a range value of 5. So he gets that in his last 2 clicks. And he's also got a damage power, special power, that's his first 3 clicks, which is Prince of Asgard and half-brother to Thor. Leadership and power, shape change, but only if adjacent to a friendly character with the Asgardian keyword. He gets leadership and power, but the shape change is only possible if he's adjacent to a friendly character with the Asgardian keyword. The rest of it's pretty standard. He has 6 clicks for 80 points. Pretty good value. He has an 11 attack to start, 10, followed by 2 9s, and goes back up to 10, 11. Keeps pretty much a 3 damage throughout, except for his 1 click. Next to last click has 2. Has 2 charge, 2 flurry. As you can see, he's got sidestep. Interesting figure. I ran him actually with a Thor Odin son to try and use the leadership and empower with Thor Odin son. And he did okay, but I liked him as Asgardian. His ability to take tokens off of any Asgardian, no matter the point value, is really nice. And he's got that empower to help with those close attacks, which a lot of this set is. A lot of close attackers.
So that's really interesting, Shea, because I was trying to think who besides Odin gave Asgardians leadership. I just couldn't think of one. And now that we're here, I'm like, oh, Balder. There we go. Now, the one thing why I probably didn't think of this is because when I think of Balder and I see that damage power, I'm like, outwitting that power really sucks for me.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You could outwit it.
So
what do you think, Pedro?
I like him. I like him as a call in to Thor. Or not call in. It's a get over here with Thor Odin's son.
Mm-hmm.
He gets very nasty in his last click. Where he gets flurry, his attack is a little bit low though. He still had blades with a minimum 3, so if you're gonna charge blades with a guaranteed 3, that's super strong. It's in 80 points. It's a little bit too much. If you had Indomitable, to me, it would be a super well rounded. But I like him. I like him very much. He can be on a for fun team or even on sealed if you're missing a secondary attacker. You can squeeze some crazy stuff out of him. And if your opponent gets you on the last 2 clicks and stop paying attention, it will hurt.
all right, well, let's move right along, guys. We got number 39, Troll. This chick is amazing. Speaking of Thunderbolts, we have another one here. Asgardian
Yep.
Thunderbolts, Brute and Monster. Dude, Brute keyword. That's cool. So her real name is Gunna Sigervald. Hope I said that right. Anyway, trait. I can smell them. Free. Choose an adjacent friendly character. That character can use improved targeting, sees through hindering. So, hey, my Thor Odin son can't see through stealth or can't see through hindering terrain. Get over here, troll. And then free action. Now I can shoot you all day long. That seems really strong.
In a world where stealth is going to be better and better, this is ridiculous.
I totally agree. Thank you, WizKids, for answering the stealth problem for Asgardians.
Yeah,
Yep.
really.
And Thunderbolts, really. I think only a couple. Do any more Thunderbolts actually shoot besides Mach 4?
So if you have a kind of a Sorn team, can you put her beside Red Leader? Red Leader can see the guy in stealth, shuts off stealth, and everybody shoots the guy.
Oh, there you go. Yep, that's something. That's only 110 points.
Yeah.
What? So she has 60 points, guys. Just so you guys know, 0 range, standard symbols, attack power on the first 2 clicks, which is just ridiculous. So it's charge and leap climb. That's good, right? But when
Hmm.
Troy uses charge, she can use improved movement through elevated, hindering, outdoor blocking, and character bases, like moving through character bases, basically. Um, that's basically charge while leap clim's active. That's really kind of neat.
Yep.
So, not bad, not bad. This dial is insane for 60 points. She does have that charge with blades and exploit, which you can use all together. So she's going to deal lots and lots of damage. Moving down into reflexes to keep herself defended, and then more charge, and then steal energy and regen to come back. This figure for a rare is ridiculous. The amount of synergy you get with some of their figures, the amount of damage you can output for 60 points. People say, oh, that troll figure, she's not going to do anything. They'll just ignore her. And then she comes to get you for 6 on a blade. You're like, ugh. Okay. That's a threat. Need to kill that now. You know, it's ridiculous.
You
Guys,
said it. No, you said it. You rounded up. She's good. Only have to be a little bit careful because she only has 5 clicks. But for 60 points, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
and toughness does help her not be one shot, but outwit's a thing.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and I like her. Her when she charges that leap climb that she has with it. I mean, she takes on leap climb in her charge, but she also gets that +2 to breakaway, and that passive ability of leap climb.
Yes, she does. Oh, and she can attack at multiple elevations. What?
Yes. Yeah, so she could charge in, and you'd be on a different elevation, and she could still hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Charge in over outdoor blocking terrain, gets beside you from a lower elevation, hit you, and look up and laugh at you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I kind of like her. She's just gonna do some different things, and I like her ability to just bring the Superman or Ultimates team ability or Avengers Initiative team ability to somebody, so they can use it.
Basically.
Next, because this video is gonna have 100 hours, it's Mickey's best friend. It's Pluto. He's deity. He's mystical. Well, Disney bought Marvel, right? So it's all within the family now.
Oh, yeah, it's all family now.
Real name Hades, number 40. Rocking the swag mustache. He has a trait that says Summon Legion of Hades. When a character of 50 points or more is KO'd by an attack, doesn't say whether it's friendly or opponent, so I'm guessing anyone.
Mhm.
You may generate 2 Warrior Soul bystanders into square adjacent to Pluto. Remember, he's the same one that Valkyrie calls, which is also the same one of the Warrior Soul first click, which is 8 teleport, phasing teleport, 10 blade, 17 super senses, 2 damage. On top of that, his last 2 clicks, which is click number 8 and 9, have stop, impervious, and regeneration. His damage power is fought Doctor Strange to a standstill, perplex, probability control, but only when he attacks or is the target of an attack. And Pluto has protected in caps outwit. And Erx will correct me if I'm wrong, but if you have protected outwit with lowercase, then it means that that particular power cannot be outwitted. But when you have protected outwit with high caps, that means that your whole character cannot have their powers outwitted. Did I get it right, Erx?
That is correct.
So going forward, what you see is what you get. He can be played at 200 points with 9 clicks, or at 125 with 6 clicks. On his major points or top points, he starts with an 11 phasing teleport. He has 7 range. He doesn't fly, but he has 11 penetrating psychic blast, 18 invincible. He is indomitable, and he has 4 damage with the prob and protected outwit. Then he keeps that. He loses phasing teleport on second and third click, and invincible becomes impervious. Damage drops a little bit, but he keeps penetrating psychic blast on his. Or on 125 points, he starts with no move and attack, but with 3 clicks of 10 pulse wave, he keeps the prob and protected outwit on his first click. Then it drops down to single prob with 17 invulnerable, but he has 4 clicks of regeneration because of his top clicks on 8 and 9, and he's super strong on click 8 with 11 and 4 damage, and 12 and 5 damage with 19 defense with impervious and regeneration on the 9th click. So he can either stay and hit hard, or he can move away and heal. Not to mention that you can top it all up by the Mystic Team's ability. So every time you hit this bad boy, you will be receiving, with an attack, of course, you will be receiving 1 penetrating damage. So I think he's ultra good for fun, very decent on sealed, because you can either play him at a higher point value as your 10th pole guy or as a secondary or even May attacker at 125. The warrior souls, if you pile them up, or if especially in sealed, but usually you don't have many tent poles or have a couple swarms, this guy is all out fun. And not being able to have any of his powers countered on the first 4 clicks and having these super strong last clicks, I like it. What do
They
you
they
guys say?
they definitely took a character with high stats and made it so he has like turret. He's a very old school Heroclix, like probably Hayes would be. Just like I'm gonna stand right here, and then if you hit me hard enough, you're gonna pay for it, and then I'm gonna make bystanders if you guys die around me, and they'll protect me. Oh, it's just there's so much this character can do. Probably won't see any meta play, unfortunately, but I mean, for fun, this is definitely one I'll play against Zeus at full points too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think he's also one that in sealed, you probably want to take a serious look at his 125-point dial. I think that's so hard to KO him in that dial.
All those regen clicks, he could be top if you get real lucky with your rolls.
Yeah, his mystical, he's got mystical, he's got prob and perplex, he's got pulse wave, he's 125 points, he's got endom. He in a sealed game, he's going to give your opponents all kinds of fits, and he's gonna bleed them dry. And I will say, he has the best Walt Disney sculpt of any of the figures.
Exactly.
He does look like goofy, like Disney villain.
He looks like a villain from the Hercules
Yeah,
animation. No joke.
yeah, I think it looks good. I love the mustache, so I like him. And it's interesting that he is not given any named keywords, so he will not be on a theme team ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're going to get into some heavy hitters. Yes, so I've got Destroyer 041A. Yes, there's a prime that follows this. So let's look at this regular Destroyer. Well, first we're going to notice is that he's got the keywords of Asgardian, Armor, Mystical, and Robot. Wow, I think that's our first robot in a while at all. Is there? Have we had a robot yet?
Not yet. We've seen armor, but no robots. No robots.
Yeah. Okay, his real name? None. Okay, well, there you go. There's no real name to go with him. He does have a special trait, program for destruction and nothing else. He cannot carry anybody. He has sidestep. When Destroyer uses sidestep, it breaks away automatically. So that's amazing. Anytime you can break away automatically, that's important. He is a flyer. He has also a special power on attack, which is life force possession. Once per turn, one adjacent friendly character with an Asgardian and deity keyword can use power. Deal this character up to 3 clicks of unavoidable damage, then heal Destroyer that many clicks. Wow, instant healing. Other than that, he has pretty much standard powers. He does have Endom. He is a giant, which really helps him in outdoor terrain where he's wanting to shoot. He has 6 range. He has an 8-click dial for 175 points. If you look at the dial, his defense is always 18. It never changes. It's just the power in it that changes. Invincible to impervious to invuln. He has damage of 4 on 3 clicks, the first 2 and the last one. In between is a bunch of 3s, and his 4, 5, and 6 clicks have 3 damage with close combat expert. He starts with Psychic Blast, and then from click 5 on, he picks up his special life force possession, which means that he could almost get to his top click. He could regen all the way up, heal up to click 2, but it looks exactly the same as click 1. So he's just the exact same click. It's just 1 down. So he's interesting. I've played against him. He was nasty. He just shot at me over a building. He one-shotted a Captain Marvel. Just one-shotted her with Eric Masterson. That was just nasty. He just came over and went, boom. I said, well, she just goes over in this pile of steaming plastic. Thoughts?
I like him. The only thing he lacks a little bit, it's mobility, because he can't run in shot with his penetrating psychic blast, and his charge is a little bit short. Hmm?
Yeah.
Don't forget that
But
second
if
step life.
I agree, but it's gonna take a while to place him in the right place. It's super strong. It's 18 defenses through and through. When he drops the damage, he can still get the Corpus Combat Action. He's just raw Like, I like that we were naturally going through finesse and not finesse as a technicality of play.
Mhm.
This guy is zero finesse, all out, big stick, beat him up, but he's good at it. He's definitely good at it.
Hey, and with the new rules, he can be TK'd.
Yes.
Yep.
So,
Yep. That's it. That's how you get him better. You bridge him the mobility gap, and he becomes a bulldozer. Not to be mixed with the guy from the Wrecking Crew number 32.
that's
Yeah.
true.
All right. Moving on to the next one, we have the prime of the Destroyer, which is Odin the Destroyer. Asgardian armor ruler. Real name Odin Borson, son of Bor. Okay, well, we all saw this guy previewed a while back. I think all of our jaws hit the floor when we saw this thing. It was like, wow, primes are coming back in a huge way, and this guy doesn't disappoint in any aspect of that. So he has two traits. First one says, teach you humility one way or another. Once per turn, when an opposing character attacks one or more characters of a higher point value, you may re-roll the attack roll. This is not prob, this is even better. This basically says you can just roll attack rolls if a character attacks a higher point character.
So no range of line of fireworks.
Nope, doesn't say range, line of fire, just wherever. It's a little nuts. And then he has another trait called Incalculable Might. Power action. If Odin the Destroyer has one action token, give him any two actions at no cost. So, with this wording, Pedro, correct me if I'm wrong, this man can literally pulse wave twice in a turn if he's on top dial.
Not only that, he can also call two different ID cards until WizKids ruled otherwise, because the
Yep.
current new rules only says that another friendly character cannot call an ID card if another friendly character called it. It doesn't say that the same friendly character or the same character cannot call it again. So I think Mr. PJ Ballin did it this weekend. Went very far, didn't win it, but we're on a big band, but not the regionals. And yep, you got it. So for that power, you nailed it right there.
So, and then on his top value for 230, guys, this is the same point value of the Elseworld Superman chase, by the way. So consider these two side by side when playing your events. He has Survive Universal Armageddon, Impervious, but succeeds on a result of 3 to 6. You fail Impervious on a 1 and a 2. Now, if they don't have any exploit, they don't have any penetrating blast, which never discount those powers. People will usually pack them, but if they do not, they will probably never ever damage your Odin the Destroyer. Ever. So keep that in mind.
Wow.
And he has power cosmic, so you cannot outwit this power at all. All right. And let's see here. He has a damage power on the 175 point click start and dial from 4 to 7 called Skyfather's Face the Celestials. He has colossal size. When Odin the Destroyer attacks a character that has colossal size or is 200 points or more, modify attack and damage by +2, effectively giving him on those clicks a 12-6 with charge, precision strike. Invincible. This dial is so stupid.
Wouldn't it be crazy if we could have a character that made people colossal?
You mean like Mixie's Pidlick from Superman Wonder Woman set?
Yeah, really.
Yep. Not too bad, right? I mean, 13-7 or 12-6. Pulse wave twice.
It's a little dumb. And then his last 3 clicks, guys, nothing to scoff at. Sidestep, 11 attack, still has his 4 range. By the way, he has 4 range, guys. His pulse wave is only 2 range on 30, but that doesn't matter. He's going to move up 8, sidestep 2, 10 squares up the map. He's already halfway up the board, basically, and he's gonna come again and do that whole like he'll do the incalculable might just because he can to move up 8 more and do another action because reasons, and then sidestep wherever he wants to be. So, but last 3 clicks, he has 11 attack with 19 defense, impervious with 3 damage, close combat expert. I have never seen so much damage output on a dial in my life.
So it works. He could move. Sorry, no, he can call an ID. He could call a flash and then get a bill extra movement for his next attack, right?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he can get
guess.
that +3. But I mean, yeah, because he can then take another action. Yep, you're right. You're right. Oh my gosh! Wow. I'm done. Do you guys want to see everything move on? This is
Nope.
too good.
We thought that a robot destroyer that hits everything was strong, but then you put a deity from the Asgardian, the leader of the Asgardian deities inside the armor, and that's what you get.
All right.
Okay, booklet again for me. Number 42, Tyrannus, mystical past scientist. Name Romulus Augustus. Why do I feel the smell of pizza? 2 traits. Prepare my army. At the beginning of the game, generate 2 Tyrannoid bystanders. Power. Generate a Tyrannoid bystander. The bystanders are the ones in the booklet, which is 0 range, 5 movement with plasticity, no flight, no indomitable, nothing, 8 attack, 14 defense, 1 damage. Most likely they're there to tie up, and that's pretty much it. No offense, little guys, but that's all you are. Um, Following that, he has a subterranean empire. At the beginning of your turn, if Tyrannus has 2 action tokens, generate a Tyrannoid bystander. Flame of Life, mind control with a range value of 6. That's his special movement power that he has from click 3 to 5. Um, mind control with a range value of 6. When Tyrannus uses it and hits, after resolution, deal 1 penetrating damage to his target and heal Tyrannus 1 click. His damage power for his first 3 clicks is Perplex, but only to target the Tyrannoid bystanders. When Tyrannus uses it, he can use that ignore characters for targeting purposes and modifies the same combat value on all friendly Tyrannoid bystanders within range and line of fire. Other than that, he has sidestep on the first 2 clicks. He also has stealth and regeneration on the last 2, outwit for clicks 4 to 6. His attack is only 10, then 4 clicks of 9 and an 8. He has 17 willpower defense without indomitable, but he has 3 clicks of mastermind. By then you already have a horde of Tyrannoids to mastermind the damage to. But his 7 clicks long can produce mass amounts of Tyrannoids. Already begin the game with 2, and he's 65 points. If you want to play a token POG team with a teleporter, this guy is viable. These guys can be super annoying.
And isn't a full table 35 points?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
him and a table is 100
100
points of your team.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can
Yeah,
you can imagine him surrounding himself with pogs, where all you're gonna have to do is sit there and hit those pogs.
And they're normal size, huh, Pedro?
You let me check for you, but I guess so. Yes,
Yes.
sir. Standard
Wow,
size.
they're meat shields.
Yep.
And he can produce 1 a turn, even when
Basically.
double token.
No, 2 when he's double token. Oh yeah. Well, one
Power.
first turn, then the second turn. But when he has 2, he has another one. So
Yeah, he has the power to generate a Tyrannoid.
so it's 1 2 1 2. It's 1 2 0 1 2 0. So it's 3 every 3 turns, but differently spaced.
Wow.
Now wait, what are you saying?
1 for the one. He starts with 2. Then you
2.
give him a power action. He makes 1. Then you give
Right.
him a second power action, and he makes the
Makes 2.
second. But when he has 2, he makes another one. So he makes 1, 2, then 0 when he clears. That wow, he can start the
Well,
round.
at the
And he can,
beginning of your turn.
yeah,
Beginning of your turn. So next turn he gets that.
yeah, exactly. So it's 1 every round. Then sorry, yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot the beginning of
Crazy.
the turn. So 1 every round. Well, not bad.
Yeah.
It's too bad the perplex only helps the little guys, but I mean, what value do you pick? Do you give them all like a +1 to defense? You give them 9 attack? I mean, what do you do with these things?
Good question. I would
Let's
I
see.
would go defense most likely, or probably movement if I want to get close to someone. But it's pretty much just for funsies, right? Because
Yeah. I would have a disclaimer on here saying only use if good with swarm teams. 'Cause
Yeah.
he is
Yeah.
going to draw. He's going to overwhelm your mind when you have all those pogs out there. It's just going to overwhelm you.
It would be kind of funny if you play him with these Tyranid tokens, and you play a Gertrude and Old Lace or two with the Old Lace Pog, giving them all in power, and then flex all their attack to a 9s. They'll do 2 damage at the very least. That could be something.
True. Or a Whiskey maybe, but then that requires a lot of positioning.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love positioning in the game of HeroClix, right, guys?
I mean, really,
Exactly.
come on. I'll just do this one thing. Is overdrive.
Yeah.
Because he could carry 4.
Take a swarm out there.
And just perplex them up, take them out there, boom. They can all hit for 2. But anyway, let's go on to the next guy, which is somebody I did not expect in here. I had no idea who this guy is, but it's Zarko the Tomorrow Man, number 43. He's a future scientist, and his real name is Artur Zarko. He has one trait. At the beginning of your turn, choose one. You may generate a time marker in Zarko the Tomorrow Man's square, or place him into another square with a time marker and heal him 1 click. Then remove that time marker from the map. So that's done at the beginning of your turn. And he has a special damage power to stop Thor, the future tyrant. Probability control. When Zarko the Tomorrow Man uses it, he can target characters with the Asgardian keyword regardless of range or line of fire.
Oh my god.
That is crazy ridiculous, especially in a sealed game in this set. Now, he keeps that for his first 3 clicks. He has 6 clicks of life for 55 points. Offensively, he's okay. He has a 7 movement. He's a walker. He only has 4 range. He does have penetrate and psychic blast for his first 3 clicks, but his attack value is never above a 10. He drops actually, he goes 10, 9, 10, then finishes out with 9s and 8s. 17 defense with energy shield deflection. And after he loses his special damage power, he picks up prob with a regular prob with damage values being very low, and he does do phasing. He's there to prob.
That 12 phasing though, look at him run.
Yeah, run away. Goes to the back row and makes it log life. It makes you hate life as he's sitting there making your Thor re-roll from across the board.
Seriously. And
then for free, you're sitting there putting time markers down everywhere because he's got sidestep, and he just every turn, if you leave him alone, he will heal 1 and get back up. It's crazy.
It's funny because it doesn't have the wording that says, and remove it from everywhere else on the map. So every beginning of the turn, you can leave one, and just keep hitchhiking back to where they were. So yeah,
it's a little ridiculous.
And that's a great teleport power to get him safely away.
Yep. And if you have an Asgardian team, just he's gonna break team, of course, but doesn't matter. It's gonna be away. He can no range and line of fire. Keep him in the first 3 clicks, and be happy about it. And to be honest, if you play defensively, that's a 19 defense, right? Not to mention if you place him in hindering. So really strong for sealed. Really strong for sealed.
All right, good job, guys. Next one, we have number 44, Ajak. It's been a while since we've seen Eternal, huh, guys?
It has been.
All right, so Eternal, Cosmic, Scientist, Warrior. I love Scientist keyword. Yep. Anyways, real name Ajak, not to be confused with Ajax from Deadpool. Okay, so we have, we'll say this once for this video. It's going to be Channel Cosmic Energy, free. Until your next turn, Ajak can't use the Power Cosmic Team ability, but can use Perplex and Willpower. When he uses Perplex and targets himself, modify a combat value by +2 instead. Once again, guys, this power is amazing. Use it for your defense, use it for your range, use it for your attack. Whatever you might need it for, it has no stipulation on what you can be used on. So, Plex away. All right. Other trait is called the Discipline of Uncovered History. When placing objects during game setup, if you did not choose the map, you may place your opponent's maps. Now, he's one of the other cheapest Eternals I think there's out there for 110 points. And the ability to say, okay, we roll map roll, I lost map, you have to place map. Your opponent can deter to you. That's something they can still do. But if they didn't read your card and they forget to check this, they will pick the map and you'll say, okay, let me see your Mjolnir, your symbiote, and I'll just put those over here. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And go on with his day. So just a consideration. He does have a defense power on the last 2 clicks of his dial called Complete Molecular Control. Regen and Toughness. So just can regen and saves his life a little bit. Then on his first 4 clicks, 1 through 4, damage power called Speaker to Celestials. Probability control. Ajak may use it a second time during your turn if the first one targeted a character with the Eternal keyword. This includes himself, guys, so you can actually prob himself twice if you miss, which is why his values are still 10s and 11s, which you can perplex. So up your damage. Go big or go home. His dial is kind of a smattering of powers. He has a lot of flight, phasing, 5 range, 8 with plasticity, incap in the middle there with some reflexes. And then, of course, the close combat expert with phasing. He's not a movement attacker. He's really kind of choose. Do you want to shoot with him or do you want to base with him and just punch? I see a lot of punching from this guy, to be honest.
Yep. I agree completely, especially with plasticity and combat reflexes mid-dial. It can be very, very annoying.
Yeah, he's a guy that is like I like plasticity in the middle because he's kind of a trap for a hypersonic guy.
Right.
You can knock him right into where you can't roll breakaway.
That's my new favorite combo is mid-dial plasticity.
Yeah. I kind of like him.
Okay, so it's another Eternal. I think there's Eternal for Erx, Eternal for me, Eternal for everybody.
Yes,
this is Ikaris, number 45.
Eternals.
Exactly. Number 45, Ikaris, Eternal Deity Warrior. His real name, shocking, Ikaris. He has Eternal Cosmic Energy, which Erx already explained. His attack power, which lasts his first 3 clicks, is Manipulate Gravitons. He can use Super Strength and Telekinesis. His defense power, which is on the last 2 clicks, it's Complete Molecular Control, which is Regeneration and Toughness. His damage power for the first 4 of his clicks is the Discipline of Leadership. When Ikaris uses it and succeeds, you may instead remove all action tokens from all adjacent friendly characters with the Eternal keyword, because weren't they strong enough? Why not clean them all at once? For 150 points, I think it's a little bit costly, but if it's in sealed and you get another Eternal, with a special perplex, this guy can go the distance. This guy can really go the distance. The perplex makes everybody better. You give him a 20 defense and keep rolling leadership and cleaning Tina, for instance, or the next guy. He can be worth it. On its own, to me, he's just good at an Eternal level, which makes him a little bit better than good. But coupled with another Eternal, especially in sealed, this guy can really, really hurt. What do you guys think?
I think you hit on the head there, man. That double perplex with that charge there, hitting someone for 4 and super strength. He's going for 6 damage, man. He doesn't need much more than that. Just get him in there faster.
Oh, yeah, and I think it's very possible for him to be pulled with Athena because she's got that. And I think those two together are only 275. So it's just finding either 25 more points, or if you pulled a weapon you want them to use. Anytime you got that +2, man, it's just going to be nasty. I think they become
theme leadership. Just
Well, and then my own Eternal, Mikari. Oh yes, I get one too. I get to review one. So Mikari has the keywords of Deity, Eternal, and Speedster. Oh, we got a Speedster. I hadn't heard that keyword in a while. And he has the Power Cosmic ability. Once again, he has a channel Cosmic Energy. I'm not going to go through that, but he does have a special movement power. He is a flyer, and he has his movement power is hypersonic speed, but can only make close attacks. He does have 5 range. He also gets a special defensive power, just like the rest of them, which is Complete Molecular Control, Regeneration, Toughness, their last 2 clicks. We all know that. He's 6 clicks deep. He starts with a 14 speed. Have we had many figures with more than 14 speed? I think the Shifting Focus Superman was 14 speed, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yep. And the common flash maybe from Elseworlds?
Maybe.
13 or 14,
or the rare one.
Close.
Is rare one? I don't know. 14's way up there for a
Yes.
hypersonic figure.
It's in the current rules and number is a lot.
Yes. And here's his attack. What we like never drops below a 10. And he has two 11s in there. And he gets precision strike to help him out with his close attack. So he has an 18 defense with super senses, which is kind of okay, but with power cosmic that might be fine, but his +2 can make it a 20. And he has a 3 damage to start with prob. He keeps prob for 3 clicks. Then he transitions into something very interesting, which is a support piece for the Eternals in having support. For me, I mean, he's a missing piece of the Eternals, a hypersonic piece. And I think he's important to him. He's only 140 points. Forgot to mention that. So,
yeah, good point there, Shea. And for sure, one thing I realized with this guy, if you look at his stats and look at his point value, he doesn't have the KC team ability. But if you perplex up his speed, he is 1 speed shy of Kingdom Come Flash from the Flash set.
wow.
So,
Since we're at it, in the whole modern era, other than Mikari, that's only 3 other guys with 14 speed, which is Shazam at 15.
Oh, yes.
The Superman number 2 from the Shifting Focus, which is the hypersonic one. And the Common Flash from the Elseworlds set. Now, having said that, there's another one which is the Flash D16 special one, D1606. Those are the 3 ones other than him. There are other 2 characters, which is Crazy Jane on her second click and the last click of the Skull Ship that has 14 speed. But there's only 3 other meaningful characters. 4 characters. 2 Flashes, a Superman, and Shazam.
You know you have a true speedster when they have 14 speed.
Yeah, man, that's
yeah.
yes. Well, 16, like you said, if it really needs to breed it. But Erks, 14 speed, 11 precision strike, and 5 damage with prob. That's scary.
I mean, 14-5, yes, that's terrifying. If you have more perplexes, yeah, sure. 16-5. And a TK, can you run from this guy? I don't think you can. So,
ouch.
And he flies, so he's like getting over all kinds of terrain and stuff like that. Let's jump to the next guy, number 47. Hey, it's a Warriors 3, Volstagg. Asgardian Warriors 3 keywords. Real name, Volstagg. Eating that big old gigantic turkey leg. Oh, my favorite. All right.
All Thanksgiving team.
Exactly. Gobble, gobble. All right. So he has a cool speed power for the first 4 clicks. Again, has the 90 and 60 point values. When I first saw this guy's dial, I was like, I choked a little bit. I'm like, wait, what? He has a 19 defense with impervious top dial? What is this guy? So I read the power, and he has charge, plasticity, which are great together. He just keeps you in there. When Volstagg uses charge and hits an opposing character, after resolutions, each friendly character with the Asgardian keyword adjacent to him at the start of the action can't take more than 1 damage from an attack until your next turn. Holy freaking cow, guys. Volstagg goes in first with his 4-speed quake and says, okay, guys, go ahead. Just soak up damage this turn. You're going to take 1 per attack. That's awesome. Of course, aside from that, he has, invuln on the 60.1 with only a 9 attack quake. Unfortunately, kind of lame there, but hey. Give some, you lose some. And then last 3 clicks, he has Force Blast. And I love the power. It's called Bounce Off Me All You Want, villains. And then he goes into, let's see here, toughness, more invul with 18, and last click is another 19 with impervious again. Solid dial for Volstagg all around. I'm rather impressed with these Warriors 3 guys. What do you think about him?
I like it. It would be fun if you could get him with the Green Lantern that gives them action, like you said. Then he charges, then Hogum charges, and then your opponent has to think, well, do I want to try to hit Hogum and only do 1 damage, or do I want to hit Volstagg with -2 attack?
Right.
At a 19 impervious.
19 impervious. Like,
it's hard to pull off, but it would be super funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Volstagg's just a fun figure, and you're going to find him a lot. I think he's a great, fun, casual figure.
Yeah,
To have fun with.
It's really unfortunate he won't see meta play, but yeah, still fun team to play.
Yep. Still missing. Don't dare to repeat. Still missing his turkey leg weapon, but
I know. I was really upset that they gave all the Warriors 3 weapons except for him. I'm like, I know all he has is a turkey leg and his sword, but come on, give him something.
there's still hope for a crazy off time OP kit with it.
Oh, that'd be
It can happen
awesome.
with kid. Listen to the podcast, to the video.
Oh,
Can still do it with kids.
That would be really cool, actually.
The turkey leg object. That'd be awesome.
I want a Sif weapon too. Sif weapon.
Whiskey OP kit special for Thanksgiving. Come on, absolutely
yeah.
doable. And November's right here. It's coming.
All right.
It's coming. You
Okay.
got Pedro.
Guys, wait a second. Is it Wrecker? The last guy from our review?
Wait, wow. That's a Wrecking Crew guy. Is this a coincidence?
Okay.
What is this?
Okay, third set, third last guy, third Wrecking Crew. Stay tuned for super rares. Can we pull the fourth off? So this is Wrecker, the master of evil. Keyword: the Wrecking Crew and the Brute. He ignores blocking in terrain and destroys it from movement with his improved movement. He has two traits. He's the wielder of the Enchanted Crowbar. The Enchanted Crowbar with special object number 5. He is indestructible, equip any, and unequip drop like every other. It's a light object. It costs 10 points. And its crazy fact is exploit weakness. Period. On top of that, when this character attacks, it doesn't distinguish whether it's close or ranged. Hit characters can use invincible or impervious use invulnerability instead. So if you have penetrating psychic blast and you're using the enchanted crowbar and you hit, that's free damage. And if you're if you're close combat, he already gives you the exploit weakness to simply hit the guy with no defensive power, because if it's invincible, it becomes impervious or invulnerable. It becomes invulnerable. If it's impervious, it becomes invulnerable, and exploit weakness ignored. It's crazy good. Expect to see the enchanted crowbar everywhere. But going back to him, he also has a live up to his name trait, which is a Wrecker. When Wrecker occupies a debris marker, he can't be targeted by opposing characters at 5 or more squares. But on top of it, he has, for the first 4 of his clicks, which is all 3 of his major dial, top click dial, and the first one of his second punctuation, we're gonna wreck it, boys. He has in power and leadership. When Wrecker uses leadership and succeeds, after resolution, each friendly character with the Wrecking Crew keyword within 3 squares may destroy a wall or a square of blocking terrain adjacent to themselves. More debris terrain for them to stand on. Right. I think all around cool. I think definitely a guy that needs to be played with his team. The Wrecking Crew team is going to be awesome, but a little bit harder to make work. Maybe on a sealed, but he's missing Indomitable is going to hurt him a little bit because it's going to click him out of his invincible. But absolutely, I'm going to play a Wrecking Crew team. I already did with the Tom in the Heroclix community channel for the old crew. Definitely doing a new one with this one. On seal, a little bit harder to pull off. Meta, unfortunately, a little bit rough to do it, but an awesome figure, and his object is ridiculously good.
I think the object's going to be seeing meta play at times.
Yes.
Yeah, it will.
Pocket Banshee.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm going to have to. I mean, with this guy, I'm going to have to get on my phone, the Wreck-It Ralph. I'm going to wreck it. And play it every time he charges. Because that, to me, would just be funny.
No,
anyway.
The one thing I appreciate about all these Wrecking Crew members, like the problem that the ones had from the Invincible Iron Man set was they all didn't have willpower. All had Masters of Evil like these ones do, of course, but they could be shot down really easy. You put these guys in debris markers, which a lot of them have ways to break down walls and sit in debris markers. Your opponent has to be really close for them to even take shots at them. Like within 5 squares is no joke, because if they're sitting there, they can then retaliate, come back and charge into their face if they miss.
They all can charge for 5 on their top click. So it's
Yeah.
made for you to be within their range to retaliate.
Yeah, but it's probably worth a push at that point too, because if they missed you, oh, it's gonna hurt them so bad.
Yep.
Because what they're 18s in the hindering, right? All of them, I think, roughly.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they are.
So that's not terrible.
No, it's not. It's yep. They're all 17 to begin with. Yep, you got it.
These Wrecking Crew guys, man, I'm very impressed. I'm happy to see them again in my life of Heroclix. So, thanks, Pedro.
No problem. So, guys, so on closing remarks, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for seeing the series. Please leave your comments. We're happy to adapt and improve, but we need your feedback to do it. Also, subscribe to the channel. Let's push to 2,000 and see Fuzzy Wumple shave his head. And also, please consider joining the Patreon. It's super fun. You get access to Cerebral. You're going to participate with the show with us. You're going to get to our chats and Messenger where we talk about all things HeroClix related and sometimes non-HeroClix related. It's a super fun community. Everybody help each other. Everybody's passionate about clicks and super ultra friendly and welcoming. Doesn't matter how shy you are. We make you feel at home. I think that's the whole purpose of the channel and the HeroClix community. So thank you, Arx. Thank you, Shea, for all the opportunity to be with you guys.